And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running with very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, "If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout." And today we're currently featuring over 3,000 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting, a 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have all the actual masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher level of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon, on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers. monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia specifically. And in addition, we're running our newer number 5 Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern half of the United States, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now, the audio from these 5 SDRs comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also in this selector is our local receiver audio. And today, our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas. One aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our NOSWR specially oriented resonant tuned dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant tuned dipole antenna runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator, so when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. As we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their band paths to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now, with all that being said, let's open it up and see who's out there. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
Want to check out? Give us a shout.
Just want to let you know you're getting out here to South Carolina. This is K2YN. Good afternoon.
Roger, K2YN. Haven't heard from you recently.
I haven't been on as much as actually. I play billiards, pool, in other words, and I have students also. So I've been putting in about 25 hours a week on the pool table. Over.
Oh, Roger. What's the name there?
Okay. Hey, the name is John. Juliet Oscar Hotel November. And we are in, we're very near Greenville, South Carolina. Over.
Roger there. I can't read my right. John, in South Carolina. And what radio? Oh, that radio is just beautiful. The audio is just from here to there.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Well, I'm glad you're copying me well. I've got a good copy on you, too. The band's kind of nasty, so not a lot of activity. And I heard you calling out. Nice prayer, too, by the way. And not getting a response. And with a good signal like yours, that isn't fair. If there is such a thing as fair. But that's how I looked at it. The rig here is the Anon 7000 DLE. We're driving a 10-tech linear, the Centurion, And the antenna I'm on right now is a ZS6BKW at 100 feet. Over?
Roger, Roger. What microphone is that?
The microphone is from AEA, Audio Engineering Associates, and it's the KU5A. It's a ribbon mic.
Oh, really? Wow. And getting that kind of top-end response out of a ribbon mic, wow, that's unbelievable. You must be dumping a pretty much high level of top-end EQ to have a sound like that off a ribbon mic.
Well, there is an external EQ. It's a very good EQ, but very inexpensive. So let me, you know what? I'll do this in a second. It's a Behringer, and it is the FBQ 2496. Now what it has is 2 channels. Each channel has 20 parametric EQs. Yeah, more than enough. Yeah, I only use about 10 of them. And you can chain it for 40 parametrics, but that's like if you're on drugs. Over?
Roger, well, I'll tell you, frankly, it sounds like a condenser mic, either electret or a real condenser mic. Top-end response is just unbelievable, like I say, for a ribbon microphone.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I like it. I heard one on the air once, and I decided to buy it. I met the president of the company. It's a microphone company, of course, and we got into a communique through emails, and he sold it to me at cost. So he goes, I told him I want to introduce ham radio to this mic, but that's never going to happen. I mention it, but it's not the kind of mic that most hams would be aware of and would consider it a selection. So they're a little pricey too. So, but anyway, he gave me a break on that. Over?
Oh yes, sir. Well, some people got all the luck. That's just a beautiful microphone. And the overall, like normal. Like I remember the last time I spoke with you, you just had an abundance of frequencies hopping around all over on my meter, and I was just amazed then, and now I'm amazed again, Roger.
Oh, thank you. And may I share compliments? Your clarity is exceptional, and balance. You're a positive addition to the band. I'm trying to think of words, but I think you get the point. Over?
Well, I hope so. And if I ever am not, somebody I hope will tell me so. That's the thing. You kind of anticipate things will be the way it was the last time you left, but oh boy, there are a lot of gremlins out there looking for you, Roger.
We're in ham radio, aren't we? And we're in the computer age too. So you got microprocessor controlled everything, all kinds of options and menus. Things can go wrong. Last night, when I was experimenting, didn't I work with menu 12A? Over?
Oh, I'll have to check that out. I'm not real sure about that, Roger.
Exactly. I talked to some folks. Oh, here's what I had a problem with. I didn't write your call and name down. Go ahead.
Roger, this is Jim, Juliet India Mike, and the call is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. Man, it's catching up with me.
Yeah, okay, VKV. Yeah, KC9VKV. Okay, Jim, excellent. Now I can address you properly. And anyway, I love my Ten-Tech amp. A lot of people don't realize I have a lot of amps. I don't have a lot of amps now. I have an Alpha 8410 and this Ten-Tech Centurion. But I know how to service the 8410. It's pretty complicated. And I've had to fix it once, and I had to learn all the parts locations. There's very little information. So So I'm like, okay, I got it running. But it kind of scares you when you think about all the circuitry. Now I get this 10-tech as a backup when I got a problem with the alpha. I got it with 2 new tubes in the boxes from our parts, 3500 ZGs, and it had just been recapped and checked out by 10-tech, and completely recapped in the power supply. And he had the receipt there. And I trusted this guy, Jim. He was out in, like, Arkansas, I believe. And he goes, well, we don't do this, we don't do that, we don't do PayPal. You have to use a money order. And I go like, well, that's interesting. But I have met hams that are out of communications and don't have computers. So anyway, I talked to him on the phone and liked him. I'll just keep it simple. I said, I think I'm going to gamble. Sent him $1,400. That was shipping too. He wanted $1,250 for the amp. He packed it in expanding foam like a pro. It came here mint with 2 fresh tubes. Ran perfect. $1,250 for the amp. $150 for the shipping. And it's so simple. I opened it up. I had to work on the bias circuit. It just needed an NPN transistor, and it was on the side. I did the repair in 15 minutes. I said, okay, and I started pulling boards just to check them out. Man, you can service this thing. I don't know what it is. Whatever goes wrong will be less than an hour. Over.
Roger. Well, gosh, you had 2 backup tubes in addition to 2 that were in? No. He bought them and had them shipped separately. Over. Oh my goodness. So you're talking like a $1,250 for new tubes and the box?
Yeah, and all new caps in the power supply with receipt.
Unbelievable, man. You got a good deal there for sure. How's your pool doing there? How's your pool game?
Getting real strong. Getting really good. And pushing the students around a little bit after we train. But it's a 3-hour lesson, Jim. So I won't take a student on that can't go 2.5 to 3 hours. So I only have 2 of them right now, and they both come 2 times a week. So that's 12 hours right there. And I watch them play at the end. The last hour is competition. And I watch what they do under pressure. And I can take a few notes and know what to teach them on the next lesson. I show them near the end of the lesson what I'm going to teach them the next time. And they get into it. I motivate them sometimes. It's $90 for 3 hours. Over.
Yes, sir. Good price. Good price for excellent tutelage. Now, are you playing them or are they playing against each other?
No, they play me. I jump on them. And there's a good reason for that. Big problem with a lot of people in pool, why they don't get better, is that they won't play anyone but someone they think they can beat. And they themselves are not that good. That's a different kind of pool. That's recreational. I'm talking tournament pro. And it's different for that. So I have matches here at the house. See, I have a billiard room here. Very nice one, and I have matches here. People like playing here, and they're top players. Over.
Oh, Roger. My goodness. Well, I wish you continued luck on your pool playing, I'm sure, and your students likewise, Roger.
Hey, thanks, Jim. Hey, thanks for letting me spill that out. You know, a lot of the world is not aware of billiards, and I can't always just discuss it. So, something I hold in, but it's a big part of my life. Cooking and ham radio also. Over.
Roger, now I've just gotten into cooking, and I've got me a electric skillet that I can do up to 500 degrees on an electric skillet, like a 14-inch electric skillet. And then I've got a Well, 3 or 4 different kinds of burners out in a shed that I built with a metal roof on it, open from 2 sides if I want, or closed. I've got things that I can open and shut the area with, and it's beginning to be interesting. Roger.
Oh, okay. Do you do any smoking?
No, I'm just cooking right at the moment. I've got a couple of a pressure cooker out there, and I love pressure cooker. It does things so quick and so nicely. Just beautiful. It's kind of warps time down to about the quarter of the time that a regular cooker would take.
Yeah, that's a nice thing to have. I don't have that. I have just the standard tools, usually oven and microwave and toaster, air fryer oven, and then of course a 4-burner range. So pretty much, for all the cooking I do, you'd be surprised how simple I keep it. But I learned, you buy a lot of toys, man, and nowadays half of them are Chinese, maybe all of them, and some of them you don't use very often, and others you like and they break. I got disappointed. So for chopping, I have a thing that kind of it has a handle on the top, and you pound it downwards, and at the bottom is a chamber that the slicers go in and out of. And you pick up the whole thing, and there's a little mountain of beautifully chopped onions or corned beef or whatever you're making, split pea and ham soup But that chopper does like 90% of what I did with my processor. And it can be washed in about 30 seconds, and you can hide it away. It only takes up a few inches. Over.
Oh, Roger, yeah, doing vegetable soup, something like that would be just invaluable.
Yeah, you want to get a chopper that does 90% of your chopping, julienne, cube, or fine, And if you can get 3 or 4 textures out of it, that's a good chopper. And the simpler, the better. And between you and me, if you're only cooking for yourself or your wife like I am, you don't need one of these high-powered tools. Over.
Oh, Roger that. Well, I'm still chopping by knife, so I guess I'm chopping by hand, slowly but surely.
You keep the knuckle on the cutter side so you don't ever get hurt?
Oh yeah, I try. Yes, I cut. I don't do whoop, 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 I go whoop, 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 but the job gets done and nobody gets injured.
That's all it has. That's all that matters. Simpler the better, actually. I do a lot of knife chopping also. For the fine stuff, I use the tool. And, soups are great. I do ham bone soup with, I simmer about 6 pounds of ham, 3 hours, and make a broth. Let it steam down a little bit and get a little concentrated. And the meat just falls off the bone, and you dice that up in any way you want. Tear some of it, Don't make it all processed. And then you can add onions, and you can add carrot and celery to this beautiful bean soup. Oh, man. What's your favorite soup that you make?
Oh gosh, it varies from time to time. Just depends on what we've got in there. Tomatoes, carrots, celery, just whatever's available. We just toss it in there. Hopefully, we can find, some kind of meat to go with it. And eureka! About if we do it in the the pressure cooker, it's about 25 minutes. If we do it longhand, it's about half an hour, 3/4 of an hour.
Yeah. If you get the texture you want out of the pressure cooker, that's the way I'd go. We just finished dinner here. We did it early. Crock pot. And this morning at 10 o'clock, we put in the pork tenderloins and Baby Ray's smoky brown sugar, slight brown sugar taste barbecue sauce, and then we put in a half a container of their Carolina Gold, which also has a mustard in it. You use one whole of the smoky brown sugar one whole container, and 1/2 container of the mustard, the golden. We mix them up. We throw in potatoes, carrots, and onions, and walk off. That's what I like. We came back at about 2:30. We were baking a pumpkin pie for dinner, too, and when that beeper went off, we pulled it out to cool and dolloped out some pork tenderloins. Man, you don't need a knife. You touch them with a fork and they fall apart. Over?
Oh, Roger, that's the kind I love, and a little sauerkraut maybe to cook it in, and then maybe some on the side when you serve it. That's a great meal. That's one of our best.
Sounds like it, yeah. You've got a feel for it. I made a corn... Oh, you'll love this. I got a phone call on a Saturday from a friend. I didn't get the call. My wife did. It was her friend Amy. She goes, $2 a pound, corned beef, Grovel's, vacuum sealed. Walmart food store, be there. I took off, man. I was there within 10 minutes. I thought they'd all be gone. There were 50 of them there at least. I was pulling them. Long story short, I got 60 pounds. Over?
Oh, man, that's the way. I hope you have a nice freezer there that you can just dump the excess in forever and pull them out as you need them.
Exactly why I did it. I would have taken more if I had more space in the freezer.
Yeah, Roger, that's our problem. We're kind of full up on the freezer now. It took about a year and a half to get really full in the freezer. Now we're trying to figure out what are we going to do here to create some space that we might take advantage of some sales along the way, and so we're trying to figure that out. In the process of figuring that out now, Roger.
Yeah. When they come vacuum sealed straight from the factory, those babies can freeze for years. Yeah, but also there are certain goods I buy that are perishable, that, my peppers and other stuff. So I schedule meals. As you can imagine, I'm the cook here at the house and the bottle washer. But my wife does everything else. She's amazing. Over?
Oh, Roger. Speaking of peppers, man, that's another thing. Loaded peppers. Oh, so good.
Yeah, you stuff them. Do you blend a little ground beef and rice in there with seasonings and other good stuff?
Well, I tell you, I have to have certain things. I don't know if you ever heard of millet, but millet is kind of like, I'm at a loss for words, but millet is really good stuffed with beef or whatever.
Oh, I haven't used it. I think I've heard the term, but that's as far as it goes. I'll check it out. It's the internet for us. Over?
Roger, millet is kind of like rice, but it doesn't have the blood sugar content problem, and so it doesn't raise your BS as others would. So that's why I chose millet to stuff with. It does a great job, and it's very much like rice. Hard to tell the difference.
Oh, okay. Good move. Good business. Okay, I don't have that particular problem there. I've been very lucky, so no diabetes, no high blood pressure, none of that. I'm all in the black when it comes to the blood work. But I have two problems. Hip, right hip, gonna have to be changed in the next 2 or 3 years, and I have a bulgy disc in my lumbar. Outside of that, I'm very lucky. Over?
Yes, sir. And that all would be helped by maybe losing a little bit of weight so you take it more easily on those parts, Roger.
Yeah, that's on my case. About a year and a half ago, I weighed 250. I'm now 185.
Oh, that's excellent. That's where I'm headed. I'm at 218, and I'm trying to get down there, but it's hard, boy. I tell you, it's hard.
Yeah, mine was all eating techniques, cut out snacks in between. Didn't eat quite as much as I used to. my stomach got smaller and it became very comfortable, actually, and the weight kept coming off. So I got lucky that way. Now, the girls, I know a lot of people down here, married couples, and the girls hate me, you know. I mean, it's a love-hate relationship. But they go, I exercise, I diet, and I do everything this and that, and I can't lose 2 pounds, and you did what?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, you know, when you got it going down, it's kind of easy to keep going. It's just that initial getting it down 2 or 3 pounds from where you normally are, you know, and then you've got a nice shot at taking it on down. But, and I guess you're out of your comfort area, so you just can play it by ear, more or less, you know. That's what I found anyway.
Yeah, I also tell people, don't set yourself up for failure. Don't set yourself up for an impossible goal. Do it in increments and see how you feel about it. The health is great, but if it makes you psychologically imbalanced, I say stay heavy then.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, you know, you got to get down there, and that makes everything work a lot better. All the medicines that you might be taking work better if you're minus 30 pounds or so from where you are. It's amazing what effect that has, and just in general, your feeling, you feel so much better when you're running lighter than you know, on up there.
Yeah, one thing I noticed, though, because of my lumbar, I don't walk long distances, you know, 200 feet, 200, 300 feet, I start to feel pressure on my spinal cord. It's an ache, not an electric choke, and it builds up. Darn. But my point is, gotta work out on a recumbent bike or a regular bike. I can do that for a while. And keep the legs strong, Jim. Because that's the threat to me with this limit on walking distance. Leg strength. And I play pool. People don't realize you walk, in a match, you walk about a mile an hour in pool. And typically in an hour's time, you have bent over, shot, and then straightened yourself back up again 150 to 200 times.
Wow, wow. So you get an exercise when you're playing pool. Is that right, Roger?
Yeah, but what you want is more. You don't want to feel taxed after, let's say you do a tournament for 8 hours. You don't want to feel taxed near the end. I'm 70, and I'm playing smart, Jim. I got to work out and make sure that I have nothing to distract me at all. Over?
Oh, Roger, right. Roger that. I'm sure you have a game plan before you get there. You know exactly pretty much what you're going to do.
Yeah, your intention typically, Jim, is to just annihilate, but you become very in tune with your feelings, especially when it comes to like muscular control, wrist action, all that junk.
Roger. Now, just out of curiosity, how far are you playing ahead in the games? Are you 3 or 4 turns ahead, or how does that work?
Okay, it's called the pattern, and it's the first thing you do. You don't even bend over to shoot till you have your pattern. Your pattern is to go from the beginning to the end of the game. It's called running out. I run the balls. Your opponent never gets out of his chair. You break, drop a ball, shoot all the rest of the ones that are required, and you've won. Now that pattern, that's for the whole game. You do the whole thing. Then you go back to the first ball and shoot it with controlling the cue ball spin to set it up on the second ball. You do it on the second ball to the third ball. Yeah, you play a pattern for sure. Over.
Roger. Now, have you ever cleared the pool table in one turn?
Oh yeah, many times. Over.
Oh wow! And the other guy never has a chance to have a turn.
Watch out! A lot of good players, Jim. A lot of top players out there now. Very respectable people from all classes economically. And don't think I'm the only one in there knows how to do this. Over.
Oh, Roger, Roger. Competition gets stiffer and stiffer, I guess, Roger.
You darn right. You take him serious. I don't care if he's 12 years old. He may have been taught when he was 2, like Tiger Woods.
Yeah, Roger that. Roger that. Can you imagine growing up facing Tiger Woods, say in high school, golf or something, competition between schools, and you wind up playing against Tiger Woods, and you say, "What is going on here?"
Yeah, I'm more like I look at him and smile. I always expect to play my best, but I kind of smile. I know it's an imbalanced match. So I usually just go, well, here we go. Let's see what happens. Good luck to you, Tiger. Over.
Yeah, Roger. I mean, hopefully even a tiger has a bad day from time to time. Might be to your advantage with that.
Never know. Might be bored and have a date he's wanting to rush to. Got a woman out there who was married for a while. I don't know. I think they broke up, but so common in the world of media. Once you're known by everyone, it seems to be, things happen. And Tiger had an accident, didn't he? And he's had to work his way back. Now, in billiards, we have a guy called Efren Reyes. He's Filipino. Filipino pool is number 1, beyond football and basketball. Number 1. And it used to be in this country before World War II. In the 30s and 20s, billiards was more popular than baseball and football, and just check your history. And basketball. Those folks in baseball were getting $500 for the season. The top player, it was an 18-year-old, Willie Hoppy, went to France in 1926 to play the great Captain Mingo, the French master of billiards. The kid beat him. America went wild because this was their favorite sport, billiards. And he got $50,000 he won before taxes really were realized. Like a big beer was a nickel, you know? $50,000 for that tournament. And when he got home, he got another $50,000 from a wealthy baron of the railroad system. He said, "Thank you for bringing the title home." And gave him a bag. And he counted it later. He said it was almost $50,000. Over.
Wow, that's something else. I once did an interview with, both Muhammad Ali and his sparring partner, Jimmy Ellis. And it turns out that Jimmy Ellis came up in Louisville right through the time Muhammad Ali was coming up. So Jimmy boxed Muhammad a few times. Can you imagine having to box Muhammad Ali as a kid?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Muhammad Ali had to climb through the ranks and learn. But I have a suspicion that this happens once every, 10 years. Somebody is born and something happens. They touch them on the head or I don't know. The parents are exceptional, but they have no confusion with converting feedback from the eyes and everything else, converting it to emotion. So he sees someone move, he already anticipates and starts to swing, say, his right arm and hand to do to hit his opponent. Okay, swat him good. But, I'm having a hard time describing this, but Ali was a natural. Over.
Yes, sir, he was. And some of his techniques in his later life, I felt pretty sorry for him. He let the guy kind of punch his way out, tired, and then he was fairly easy to take advantage of. That was, I think, one of his operations in the later part of his life. He just let him hit him. He was so much in good shape, I guess.
Yeah, he did the rope-a-dope near the end a lot. He would just let the other guy try to let him tire out, and he would save his energy. He had speed. He had one move I loved where he would feign back, sort of fall back a hair just an inch beyond the opponent's punch. Just an inch, just missing his nose by half an inch. And he could snap a punch while he was still going backwards.
Oh, Roger. Once he smelled blood, you better get out of the way, because he's all over him, Roger.
Yeah. One of the guys that influenced him was Floyd, no. What's his name? Oh, darn it. He's from the 50s and into the early 60s. He was a boxer. And I can't remember his name. Floyd something or other. Do you know?
Floyd Patterson?
Yeah, that's him. Boy, I saw him fight at 50 years old. They knocked him down 2 times. They knock him down, he gets up. He had a really cool technique, and they knocked him down again, he got up. He won that bout. He wore the guy out. He went the whole distance, 50.
Roger. Well, it's wonderful to look at. I wouldn't want to be in there anywhere, close to that, but on TV, I love it.
Yeah, no fights for me at 70. I took martial arts when I was 18. That's a long time ago.
Roger. Yes, sir. Well, John, I hope you enjoy your recording. It sounds perfect to me. I wouldn't change a thing. If you'd like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do that call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Oh, that's neat. I'll give it a listen. You have quite a system going there. Over?
Roger. Well, we, do a whole lots of things. Mainly, we're doing transmitter setups, but every once in a while, like in this case, we get a nice little QSO going. Roger?
Yeah, it sounds great. No, I enjoyed this. I knew you had a secondary purpose when you got on, and you're trying to help other hams, too. But thanks for taking a little time out. I enjoyed this QSO. That's my wife starting up her car. Over?
Roger, John. Well, just beautiful audio as normal. Just wall to wall on my spectrum analyzer. Roger?
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much for the report. My wife's there. She's pulling out. Going to get a massage. Are they pampered or what? I don't get a massage. I'm a man. That could be a bad thing. KC9VKV. This is K2YN. Over to you, Jim.
Roger, John. 73, sir. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. I'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Okay, I just do have a bare little bit of coffee on you, about half a dB over my local noise level. Come back with your name. See if I can get your name out of there.
My name is Bob.
All right, Bob, I got your name. What's your location? Roger, Bob in Tennessee. And Bob, what radio are you running?
Wave at the side of my house for now.
All right, I didn't catch that. Try one more time. Like I say, I only have about a half a dB copy on you over my local noise level. Roger?
Roger that. I've got a 891, 100 watt, and I've got an Aircheck wave at the side of my house.
Roger, Bob. Well, maybe we can help you there, because you really came up when you got up on mic. So maybe we can work on it a little bit if you might be interested. First thing is that an older radio or a newer radio?
It's a brand new radio, less than a year old.
Okay, sir. Do you know if you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth? 100 to 2900 TVW. It's called wide.
Negative. I'm on narrow.
Okay, so you got to get that radio in wide, 100 to 2900, Roger. That gives the opportunity for your transmitter to be all that it can be, and then gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. So the magic thing is 100 to 2900, and it's called wide, Roger. Okay, so I'm still not copying you too well, but if you have your radio in that wide 100 to 2900, then let's move to the compressor processor. We want it on, and 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. We're just looking for a third of that compressor processor. Roger? I think you hit your VFO. We're on 7188. On 7188, Roger?
I just got to look on my menu to try to find those selections.
Okay, so if you're in the 100 to 2900 TBW transmit bandwidth, then you're on a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100 on your compressor processor, move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you say the word audio, you become a human test tone generator and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is reading 2/3 or 7, depending on which one comes first. Roger?
Roger that. What is your
Call sign here is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. KC9VKV, name is Jim, Juliet India Mike. And this is the Qso-Vlog network, and we're located around Louisville, Kentucky, on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. Roger?
Oh, Roger that. The last three, sir?
Didn't catch that. Try it again.
Oh, the last three of your call sign?
V as in Victor, Kilo, Victor. Victor, Kilo, Victor. Roger, Roger?
I talked to you before when things were better. I think
Okay, so now we're at that most sensitive thing that I think you may be slightly low in your audio. If you go to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand, and as you say the word audio, don't stress it, just say it as you would say any other word in a QSO, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 2/3 or 7. Roger?
Let me find that in my menu.
Yeah, this is a microphone modulation level check setup, and it's real easy. Like I say, you just say the word audio, and that's full of, on a spectrum analyzer, it's just wall to wall, and it's an excellent way to set up your audio modulation. As you say the word audio, adjust your mic level until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3. Roger?
Roger that. Stand by 1 second, sir.
Yeah, Bob, you got a copy?
Roger that. Stand by 1 second. What was your first name again? I'm sorry.
Jim, Juliet, India Mike.
Okay, on my ALC setting on my radio.
Roger. It should be just below your power output or your S meter.
Give me just a couple of minutes. I need to find it. It's a truncated display on your full set of stuff on.
I'll tell you, I can copy you if you come up on mic.
Oh, Roger that, sir. Would it be okay, sir, if I check back with you in a little while? Will you be on for a little while?
Be on till 5 o'clock. I'll tell you what is your, this is a quick way to do it, but what is your mic level at the moment?
You know, I don't know what it is.
Interesting. Well, this is, the modulation level is obviously how loud you are, and it's one of the things that we really want to check out and get going before we hit your sound EQ page. Roger? No, I can't play that game, sir. Just go to your, bring your ALC meter out, and just, as we discussed, audio with you, and adjust your mic level to 2/3 of 7 on your ALC meter.
Very good. Grab my owner's manual. I'll take a look at it, and I will try that. I can be on standby for a few minutes, okay?
Yeah, or better yet, just take notes. Take a note about that, if you could. We go to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand, and as you say the word audio, stress the first part of that word, and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3. 2/3 is the sweet spot on your ALC meter. And once you get that, you'll probably need a little more top-end EQ, a little more tone control, treble tone control than where you are. Maybe 3 clicks, additional boost from where you are on your treble EQ. Roger, Roger?
Roger that, sir. I appreciate it. I am learn my radio there, Jim. I got my general, and I'm going to actually, I was pretty sick for a while. I had to have some just with some health issues, but I was in a pretty bad accident, but I'm going to really concentrate on my radio to get to know it a lot better, and I apologize for the lack of knowledge. Not my radio knowledge, the lack of knowledge on my particular radio that I've got here, sir.
Roger, Roger. Well, you've got a book there, I'm assuming, so you'll be able to take your time and just go through your book and follow your notes, and then maybe next week we can get the check out the EQ. It's kind of hard to do that with a marginal signal like what I've got right now. I've got about 1/2 to 1 dB over my local noise level, so I don't have a real good copy on you to be able to adjust the EQ. Roger, Roger?
Roger that, sir. Thanks, Jim. I really appreciate it. Are you on every week?
All right, Bob 73, sir, and if you want to hear where we are on your radio, or about your radio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Jim, thank you so much for that. You're so kind, sir. Thank you so much for your help. And I heard you before. Passively listening, but thank you so much, sir, and I look forward to talking to you again for 73s, and have a good one. Thank you.
Roger, Roger. Bob, come up on that mic and give me your call sign one more time. Call sign one more time, slowly, phonetically. I got it now. Got it now, sir. Thank you very much. Roger, Bob 73. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
You want to check out, give me a shout.
Alpha Alpha 8 Whiskey Quebec. Alpha Alpha number 8 Whiskey Quebec.
Alpha Alpha station, come back slowly phonetically.
Yeah, the call here is Alpha Alpha number 8 Whiskey Quebec. Alpha Alpha number 8 Whiskey Quebec. And the name here is Paul. Papa Alpha Uniform Lima. QSO?
Roger, Paul. And whereabouts are you located, sir?
Yeah, we're located in Dover, Ohio, in the state of Ohio. And I just jumped in here to say hello to you. Go ahead.
Roger that. What radio are you running today?
Yeah, we're running Yaesu FT710.
Roger that. Newer radio or older radio?
Oh, no, this is a newer one. That's only, we got it at Dayton last year. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, we do setups here, transmitter setups, and they usually start by asking the question, are you in that wide 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth? That's what we are suggesting. It gives you your opportunity for your transmitter to be all that it can be, and then gives it just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. So it's called transmit bandwidth, TBW, and it's called wide. Roger.
Roger. I just jumped on here. I hope it sounds okay. Does it sound okay to you?
Yeah, it sounds pretty good, but it can always sound better. We have a whole setup there. You might take notes if you would like. One is that TBW. Your top end is affected by your transmit bandwidth, and if you are running a reduced top end, then you're going to be losing all of your top end equalization, because that'll just filter it right out. And so if you follow that to its logical conclusions, if you're 300 by 15, you're whacking off quite a bit of the top end of that audio spectrum, and therein lies all of the intelligibility in your audio system. Roger?
Roger on that. Well, I know I set it to what my buddy told us to set it to, and I adjusted everything. It should be pretty good.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. But just remember, we can always be better. Particularly, we suggest 3 out of 30 or 10 out of 100 as far as your compression. Just a slight amount, but a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, about a third of the capabilities of your compressor processor. Roger?
Roger on that.
That's something you'll never hear on the air, but it helps us make our numbers at the end. We're trying to take like if you were at a baseball game and you were on the public address system, and I was looking at your audio signal, I had my VU meter tied across your PA system output, and you were announcing this game, I would say, that your dynamic range would be 10 dB width. Your from the lowest to the highest would be 10 dB. But if we were to try to transmit that, it would be much too slow, much too low to be able to get some good modulation and be able to be heard. So what we want to do is take that dynamic range and shrink it to about 3 dB, and that makes for a very nice signal. And we do that by just a tad amount of compression, and then up to our ALC then, and the sweet spot in your ALC meter is about 2/3. So it would be, as you we're just to be setting your modulation, the magic word is audio, that would be what you would be saying, and you would have your mic in your hand in your mic gain and adjust your mic gain until your AOC meter read 2/3 or 7. Roger?
Roger on that. Audio. Mine's right at 7. Audio.
That looked pretty good?
Yeah, it's right at 7.
Yes, sir. It looked really good. And tell me about your antenna system for about 15 seconds, and let me listen to your audio.
Okay, very good. The antenna system here is a 40-meter half square for about 45 feet in the air. It's a 40-meter half square. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Paul, I wouldn't change a thing there, sir. You sound just beautiful. Not change a thing on your EQ, Roger?
Roger on that. Okay. I kind of figured that, but I played around with it, and it's good. I don't touch nothing now, so good deal. I'm glad to hear that, Jim. I'm glad for your approval for that. Yeah, I got a 40-meter half square up. It's been up for about 30 years, so it's been done. I tell you what, Jim, that's the only antenna I put up, and it works fabulous for me. I got it pointed north, which gives me east and west, which gets down to the South Pacific and Australia and all that. That gives me Europe, and it works fabulous for me. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording, and it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,300, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow.
Okay, Jim, very good. I'll do that. I really will. And I do appreciate you taking your time out to give everybody a little bit of how the audio is a very important part of the ham radio as well. So, okay, Jim, I do appreciate your time and effort and getting out here and giving everybody a hand there. That's great. So, I take it you might have been a broadcaster at one time, huh?
Yes, sir. I spent 50 years in commercial broadcasting, and we started like as a 6-year-old. My grandfather was ham radio before there was ham radio. He met Marconi in Massachusetts at Blue Hill Ridge. That was a weather observation tower place conducted by this wealthy gentleman that was really interested in weather. So my grandfather and his brother Sterling were there, and they perfected kites, used kites and sent kites aloft to get a high-level weather forecasting, the beginning of that. So but he skipped right over my father. My father was not a ham, but I spent some good time with my grandfather when I was about 6 or 7, and he would always find just that right tool or item to give to me to play with, to expand my knowledge of things. And so I've kind of, I guess, followed in his steps as opposed to my father's, Roger.
Oh, Roger on that, Jim. Good deal. That's great. That's great. Yeah, I've been a ham for 30-some years now, so it's fun. And you never get never a dull moment, and you always learn something for sure. There's so much, and I keep telling them, the Boy Scouts and all that, there's always something. And I keep telling them, the Boy Scouts and all that, there's always something that, something new coming up or something you can get into. There's just endless on the different stuff you can do in this hobby or whatever you want to call it. So, okay, Jim. Well, I won't let you. I'll let you go, and I got to get dinner ready here. So, wife's getting antsy, Happy
happy wife, sappy life, Jim, as he say. I'll say 73, take care, my friend, and nice to meet you here. And I do thank you, like I said, I thank you for your time and effort, and we'll catch you maybe later on down the page. KC9 Victor Kilo Victor, this is Alpha 8, Whiskey Quebec, Paul in Dover, Ohio, saying 73, take care, and God bless, my friend. Thank you.
Roger, Paul, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Roger, Jim. Kilo 8, Echo, Papa Sierra. The name here is Eric. We spoke last Friday, and I have a headset that I want you to analyze for me.
All righty, Eric. I'm not real sure about what I found you on, but why don't you give me about 10 or 15 seconds, and let me look around and see if I can get a better copy on you.
15 seconds, and let me look around and see if I can get a better copy on you.
All right. Last week, solid signal from Pennsylvania SDR, and it was rough copy to your 7300, but this week at least the solar flare stuff is down and the noise level isn't as bad.
Roger, I'm on my Kentucky SDR, which is up around Cincinnati, so we'll go with that one right now. Eric, what's your location, sir?
Go with that one right now. Eric, what's your location, sir?
I am located just to the southeast of Columbus, Ohio.
Roger that. And what's the radio?
Roger that. And what's the radio?
And the radio's a Kenwood TS890.
Roger. And did we work on that radio last week and got so far, or what's the deal there?
Work on that radio last week and got so far, or what's the deal there?
Yes, we did. We did a comparison, Jim, of the EQ setup that you and I did a year ago, and we compared it to the Heil PR40 recommended EQ for this Kenwood. And we decided that it was going to be better if we just stuck with what you and I set up. But I also have a Sennheiser headset, and it's going into an external EQ, and I wanted to get your impression of how we were set up on that.
That sounds really good. I don't hear any breath noise. I don't hear any plosives or nothing. It's just, clean, just like a desk mic, Roger.
Clean, just like a desk mic, Roger.
That's what I like to hear, Jim. I set the EQ in this to be very, very close to what you and I set up inside the Kenwood, and it should have sounded good. It's a dynamic microphone on this headset, and it does have a foam pop cover over the microphone.
Roger that. Now be sure and keep your live mic monitor level lower than what you would think, because sometimes you get spillage out of those earphones, and it just adds to the negative aspects of your microphone. So try to deliberately maybe set your local monitor level pretty low there, so you don't get any bleed out of those earphones back into your microphone. Roger.
Any bleed out of those earphones back into your microphone, Roger.
Roger, I just turned it down. I can't hear anything out of my phone now, so hopefully we still sound pretty good.
Yeah, Roger. That shouldn't affect your, well, you know, if all things being equal, that shouldn't affect your modulation, except if you, at higher levels, if you were getting a bleed back into your mic, Roger.
Bleed back into your mic, Roger.
Roger. Yeah, everything looks pretty clean on the screen here on this external EQ, and I am unplugged from my desk mic and have to plug the external EQ into this port. So I think we're pretty clean that way.
Yes, sir. Now, I would pay particular attention to the way you're addressing that microphone, because we want it. That's you're perfect. So I want you to always work that microphone just the same distance, just the same way you have that mic, the boom bent around, that whole thing. Don't touch anything. Just work it, you know, just like you have been, Roger.
Just work it, you know, just like you have been, Roger.
Roger. Yeah, the length of the boom is just enough where you like it for a headset, and that is it's right to the side of my mouth, pointing toward my mouth, and it's easy for me to keep it in that position.
Yeah, Roger, because it just sounds so beautiful. And if you want to hear it, if you go to YouTube and do that call sign KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, it'll take you right to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
3,000, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Roger, Jim. I enjoyed listening to the comparison from last Friday. It really brought it home to me with what you were hearing and how our original setup on this Kenwood was the best. And so I'm looking forward to listening to this headset when you get everything uploaded after this weekend. So I'll let you go. You've got about 5 minutes. Maybe you can help somebody else like you've helped me. And I'll give you a big 73, and again, thank you for all you do for this damn community.
Roger, Eric. Now, I don't know if I had my PA SDR up, but it is down this week, and I'm, where am I? I'm on my Kentucky SDR up around Cincinnati right at the moment. I can't recall how, you know, if we used the PA SDR last time or not, but you've got a pretty good signal. You look to be about maybe 6 dB over my actually the Kentucky SDR noise level, so it's a pretty good signal out there. Not as maybe as good as perfect, but pretty close. So I hope you enjoy it. 73 there, Eric. And if you can, check in next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey 8, Golf Delta Charlie.
One more time on them call signs, Roger. Just slowly, phonetically.
One more time on them call signs, Roger. Just slowly, phonetically.
Whiskey 8, Golf Delta Charlie.
Okay, I got Whiskey 8 something Delta Charlie. What am I missing?
Okay, I got Whiskey 8 something Delta Charlie. What am I missing?
Whiskey 8, Whiskey 8.
Give me the call signs slowly one more time, sir, please.
Give me the call signs slowly one more time, sir, please.
Whiskey 8, Golf Delta Charlie.
Roger, sir. Golf Delta Charlie. I was missing that golf. I don't know whether you were eating that word or what, but it wasn't coming out. You might think about that down the road, trying to hit that golf just a little bit harder, because I was not copying that at all, but I am now. What's the name there?
I was not copying that at all, but I am now. What's the name there?
The name is George, and I'm up here in right around Gradus, Ohio.
Roger, George, and what radio are you running today?
Roger, George, and what radio are you running today?
I'm operating on an FKV 10.
Roger that. Well, gosh, if you'd be interested in our setup, the first thing to do would be to be sure you're in that wide transmit bandwidth, that 100 to 2900 TBW. It's called wide, and that will give you the opportunity for that transmitter to work at its full capabilities and just give you a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. Roger?
Before you're into somebody else's conversation. Roger?
Oh, Roger.
So if you get a chance, let me just give you some notes. I kind of pushed right now, so I'll just give you some notes if you can copy notes, Roger.
Kind of pushed right now, so I'll just give you some notes if you can copy notes, Roger.
Okay, I got paper and pen.
Okay, sir, let's go sequentially. The first thing is that TBW, transmit bandwidth. We want that to be 100 to 2900. It's called the wide mode, 100 to 2900, and it gives you just a slice of daylight before you enter somebody else's conversation. So it's a TBW, 100 to 2900. Then move to your compressor processor, and we want that on at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Compressor processor on at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Just a third of the capabilities of that compressor processor. Roger?
Third of the capabilities of that compressor processor. Roger?
Affirmative.
Okay, then move to your ALC as you're saying the word audio, and use your mic gain to adjust your ALC meter to 2/3 or 7. So as you say the word audio, adjust your level on your ALC to where it's 2/3 or 7. Roger?
ALC to where it's 2/3 or 7. Roger?
Affirmative.
Okay, that's the best way to set your audio modulation right there, because you become a human test tone generator when you say the word audio, and it's just the first part of that word that's really the important one. Don't worry about the second half, just the audio, and just say it as you would say any other word in a QSO. Don't stress it, just say it, and adjust your mic level until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3. Roger?
ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3. Roger?
Affirmative. Yeah, I was reading the book on that, and that's what it said to do. But it was saying not to go over 10.
That's right. 7 is the preferred thing. And you might need a little more top-end EQ now that I listen to you. And you'll just remember, you'll probably have to be in the Paul set of controls on your EQ to make that happen. Since you do have your compressor processor on, you'll be in the P set of EQ controls, and it'll be just about 4 clicks treble boost. 4 clicks treble boost. Roger?
Treble boost. 4 clicks treble boost. Roger?
Affirmative.
And just so I can get a good copy on you, a good recording on you there, why don't you tell me about your antenna system for 10 or 15 seconds?
About your antenna system for 10 or 15 seconds.
Yes, I'm operating on a long wire and running at 100 watts.
Okay, I usually could use a little bit more because I'm trying to run through different SDRs to see what's hot and what's not. But I just stayed on my my Kentucky SDR up around Cincinnati, and you sound pretty good. So if you want to hear your audio now, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording, and it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow.
Series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow.
Okay, I do appreciate it. One of my brothers, he was supposed to come over here sometime and help me with getting everything straightened out on it as far as the audio.
Yes, sir. Well, it sounds pretty good. As it stands, I just would prefer maybe just a touch of more treble, because that's where all of the information is as far as articulation, is in the upper edges of the balance of the audio curve. So all of the S's and all of that stuff really help in understanding what's being said. And so that's why I suggest maybe a couple of clicks or 3 or 4 of additional treble EQ. Roger.
Clicks or 3 or 4 of additional treble EQ. Roger.
Affirmative. Me, I got a problem with my voice right now. Whenever the weather changes, my voice gets weak.
Yes, sir. I would try some hot tea. I would try some warm or hot tea and a little honey mixed in with that. Probably make a pretty soothing sound. Roger.
That probably make a pretty soothing sound. Roger.
Affirmative on that. And I had a voice analyst tell me to use butterscotch to keep the voice moist.
Yes, sir. Somewhat the same idea. A little coating on the tonsils. Roger.
Somewhat the same idea. A little coating on the tonsils. Roger.
Affirmative.
Well, George, I got to get out of here. I'll say 73 to you, sir, and be looking for you next Friday on this frequency a little earlier in time. Roger.
On this frequency a little earlier in time. Roger.
Okay, will do. And I do appreciate your help.
Roger, George. 73, sir. Catch you later. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net, and we have been recording since 3:30. And if you participated and would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will bring you to this recording, and it'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,000, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So with all that being said, this is KC9VKV returning the frequency back to all kinds of natural, normal amateur radio operations. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, clear.